This is the Matrix. Online complainant reported she was a victim and witness to a sex trafficking ring at the Trump golf course in Rancho Palos Verdes, California between 95 and 96. Complainant reported Ghislaine Maxwell as the madam and broker for sex parties, the bottom bitch. Again, Ghislaine Maxwell is the daughter of Robert Maxwell, founder of Mossad. Clients whom included Epstein, Robert Leach, and Donald Trump. Complainant reported participating in orgies that some girls went missing, rumored to have been murdered and buried at the facility. Complainant reported being threatened by Trump's then head of security that if she ever talked of what went on there or who she saw, he would end up as fertilizer for the back 9 holes like the other cunts. Oof. Complainant claims to have video of high-profile parties dealing with cartels and having witnessed Robert Leach strangle a young girl to death at a party. And this is, again, why I know the Epstein stuff is funny and people do aura edits, and, you know, Nick Fuentes is selling merch for that stuff. He used a picture of me to promote it. And its stuff is funny, and I understand the edgy aspect of it, but I really don't want to trivialize how evil this stuff was. Right? If what we just know is just underage girls, I think it goes a lot deeper than that. I don't think that's schizo conspiracy theory. I think it's as evil as what these files are depicting, and I think it's, if this is just what we know at the surface, I think it goes much further than that. And I think it's more evil than we could really imagine. So yeah, it is funny, and the quarter zip looks nice. I'm not making money from that, but let's remember what this is really about. Let's remember what these people are capable of. Complaint was spoken to and deemed not credible. Additional research showed 3 separate incidents involving police, which requested in mandatory psychiatric evaluations. So many of these people ended up dead. So many of the accusers, coincidentally, same thing with Hillary Clinton and every people who accuse Hillary and Bill Clinton of heinous acts. How many people who have accused the Clintons ended up dead? Missing. How many of them ended up committing suicide? Here's a file. Epstein victim raped by Bush and witnessed babies dismembered. Again, this is alleged. These are emails. Can't prove this, but thanks. I didn't realize Bush raped him too. He was a victim of a type of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut with a scimitar but left no scarring. On the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed, and individuals eating feces from these intestines. Oh man. He was also raped by George Bush 1. Victim disclosed he was escorted by the FBI building by Michael Moore, who was the creator of The True Pundit, described by multiple online sources as a conspiracy-driven news website that attempts to paint the FBI in a bad light. Moore has a criminal record as a lawsuit of FBI investigation. Again, I do believe that people might call you a low IQ anti-Semite. They call you crazy conspiracy theorist. I think it goes much deeper. I think it goes much deeper than just, you know, underage girls on an island. And again, if we look at from 2 years ago, remember the Balenciaga ad? And this is why I boycott Balenciaga. Remember this? I think they're showing you exactly what they're doing. I think it's as evil as people describe. This is a Balenciaga ad campaign. And they say it was just somebody on the marketing team, somebody who went too far. I don't think so. I think they're showing you to their face what they're capable of and what they do. I think if you look at the artwork of John Podesta, and we will go through the rest of these files too, the pedo Satanist elites and all that, how to make it is, yeah, they call this stuff art, but look at this. These children look horrified. They look scared. They're all wearing red shoes, and they say the red shoes. This stuff is absolutely disgusting. So I think it goes much further. I think there were sacrificial rituals. If you look at the worship that they had on that island, it goes much further. It's really dark stuff. Epstein with the smiling emoji asked former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak to clarify he does not work for Mossad in a meeting with senior Qatari investment. Oh, we don't work for Mossad. Where is that? Are you going to be on London? You should make it clear that I don't work for Mossad. Smiley face. This is 2018 from Ehud Barak. Oh, this is Epstein. Epstein is asking Ehud Barak to clarify, winking emoji, smiley face. I don't work for Mossad. Sure. Do you believe this? Continuing with the files. The Justice Department has deleted all the files in which various allegations against Trump, including rape and trafficking, in the newly released Epstein files today. Why did they delete this right away? We'll see how long this is able to stay up on X. Thank you again, 20 from Jewish Emergency Distractor said, can you discuss your top 500 songs and then move on to movies and TV shows? No, I can't. I'm going to talk about this and not get distracted by listing out my favorite 500 movies. Jewish Emergency Distractor. He measured the children's vulva and vaginas by entering a finger and rated the... Oh, my Lord, bro. Here are the names right here if you can't see. It says Jeffrey Epstein, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and Donald Trump Jr. I don't know Donald Trump Jr. It says Trump twice. Some of the other ones list Donald Trump Jr. Oh, man. Okay, let's get through this. He measured the children's vulva and vaginas by entering a finger and rated the children on tightness. The guests were elder men and included Elon Musk, Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka Trump, and Eric Trump were there. Attorney Alan Dershowitz. Dershowitz was Epstein's lawyer. Dershowitz is appearing on the Piers Morgan show. Dershowitz is the lawyer we saw recently, I think was the lawyer, if I'm not mistaken, of the mayor of Miami Beach, the one who said it was disgusting that we were enjoying the song that got us in so much trouble. Show you Alan Dershowitz. Again, he's appearing in all these places. This guy here. Alan Dershowitz, Epstein's lawyer. Can you hear this? Oh, no, we can't hear it. Hold on. It's one ugly motherfucker right here.
Criminal investigation, the FBI folio of their reports and what they did and did not do. Okay. Separate and apart reports and what they did and did not do.
Excuse me. There's an echo. I hear the echo. I'm muting this. Fixing that. Here we go.
That had depositions, which are the interviews that you have in those pre-trial examinations before trial. And there are things that were sealed by judges. And what you told me, I have followed up on with other sources. And to the extent that there is any grouping of 20 people that survivors kept telling authorities about, who knew who they were trafficked to, who had to be acted upon and never were, apparently, that's where those names would be sealed. Do you believe that? And if so,
yeah, he got a ball sack neck.
Was there anything that can be done about that?
Yeah, we could go to the courts and seek to unseal it. But I want to focus on your prior guest because she focused on a woman named Farmer. Now, Farmer accused lots of people. All of them were Jewish. She said, quote, I have a hard time with Jewish people. All the Jewish people I met are pedophiles.
Okay, so now he's claiming anti-Semitism. Like, Epstein's lawyer is using the same talking points as Piers Morgan.
Who run the world economy. She talks about the Rothschilds. She is a blatant anti-Semite.
Wow.
And a liar.
You know what? Here again, I don't want to hear anything from... I'm not taking shit from wall kissers. I am not going to be told by Epstein's lawyer that we can't look into this because you're anti-Semitic. I'm just done with that. We're done with that. We are not going to be silenced by Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer for anti-Semitism.
She said she didn't accuse me, but she said she saw me in Jeffrey Epstein's house before I ever met Jeffrey Epstein. She clearly, provably lied about me.
And again, this guy here, this interviewer here was also criticizing Ye for being anti-Semitic when he dropped the song that everybody got upset about. Again, thank you for the 500 points on Kick. He said Dershowitz was also the lawyer of Israel's Hague allegations of genocide. You can't make this up. Yes, he was both lawyers of Israel and Epstein. Wow. I'm sure that's also just a coincidence.
And so what we have is both sides of the coin. We have people who are truly abused and who are telling the truth, and they ought to be listened to, and we ought to punish anybody who did anything illegal and criminal. And then we have the Farmers of the world. We have another woman named Sarah Ransom, who claimed she had videotapes of Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Richard Branson, and a bunch of other people and Donald Trump, videotaped them having sex with children, and then she admitted she made up the whole thing. So we have to not throw out the Constitution here.
Really?
We have to remember the presumption of innocence. We have to remember that there are false accusations here. I was a victim of a false...
He's a victim, I'm sure. Continuing with the Epstein files, because I think this is the most important issue to talk about. And if you want to checkmate anybody on the Zionist issue, you just got to bring this stuff up. It's very clear who Epstein worked for. Donald Trump, the president, had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls. And in here listed, Jeffrey Epstein, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and I think Donald Trump Jr. And again, they're saying this. Who else is listed? Dershowitz, Ghislaine Maxwell, Bob Shapiro. He forced to allow them to penetrate us. I was 13 years old when Donald Trump raped me. Ghislaine Maxwell was also present. And so I don't know what happened to her now. I don't know who this accuser was. Let's see if she's still alive. Grok has responded. Based on recent reports from Fox News, DOJ, who's the accuser here? Is she still alive? So many of these people have ended up dead or missing. Now they're saying Jay-Z has also been found in the Epstein files. Again, this proves my theory, if this is true, that this goes much deeper than just underage girls. Jay-Z was seen with Marina Abramovich doing this ritual. And again, this is stuff you shouldn't really show. I'm not sure how far you can go on YouTube about this. But here's Jay-Z doing this witch ceremony with Marina Abramovich, a well-known witch. I think you can even see the dance that he did on YouTube. I'll show you. Oud Billah. This is important to know. Jay-Z. Marina Abramovich. Where's the video? Here it is.
You do with that energy, you know. So today, it's kind of
on my left hand now.
It's gonna get demonetized.
It was so much energy.
Yeah.
Scott.
That nose is crazy, bro. That nose is insane. Let's see the dance. Don't want to get copyrighted. Let's speed this up. I don't know if this is the actual video. I'll show you from the witch cooking. This looks like soul transfer. If you look at her eyes here, it's much deeper than just a dance. Thank you for the 20. Thank you for discussing these vapid anti-Semites like Hassan. Much more entertaining than some hoax files. Shut up, bro. Stop trolling. Here's Marina Abramovich. You don't know a little bit further. There she is with the Antichrist cross. Oh, no, it's not. This is just this must be some sort of satanic necklace. Again, here she is dressed in red. She's known for doing spirit cook. Yeah, here she is. These are these witch cooking. Because it goes much deeper. The transfer of soul, sacrifices to the god of Moloch. Right. It's demonic.